Every NFL fan base explained in 24 minutes. Chargers, it gotta be champion. they be throwing snowballs at opposing team. Yeah, champion.
Bills Mafia.
I think I saw that video on my recommended. It was like 30 minutes long. I'm not.
Isn't just a fan.
I'm not even that invested in Chargers players like that. I'm sorry, respectfully.
Fan base. It's
only because I don't think Jackson Dawes can be that good. Really, I just don't. I think it's gonna be worse than Eli. I think it's gonna be Daniel Jones 2.0. Just good enough to start. Y'all are gonna pay him because y'all got potential and hope, and it's gonna be respectfully, bro. Like now that we've gotten over the honeymoon phase of, and I just started the video and we already have 4 seconds in. Now that we're past the honeymoon phase of our teams drafting these players, I can say I was kind of wrong about Omarion Hampton. But he's not going to be a home run like everybody thinks he is. At least I still don't think so. I think he's going to be a starting running back for the next 6, 7, 8 years. Simple as that. I think our best draft pick was Trey Harris. Simple as that. I don't think Xavier Worthy was that. I think Trey Harris is going to have a better career than Xavier Worthy. That's just me. I think Cam Ward is going to be an above average quarterback. I think Shador is probably going to have 2 good-ish years if they're even good. I think Jetsy's going to have a really good year. Like he's gonna be like Josh Jacobs where he's really good but they just still suck. Travis Hunter is gonna get burned out. That's just my opinion. I think Will Campbell might end up being the best overall player from this draft. Like Hall of Fame. I think Will Campbell's gonna be a Hall of Famer. Like he got that in him. You know what I'm saying? So that's just me. I don't know. James Pierce always had a good get off, but you know what I'm saying? Without work.
Lifestyle. You guys wake up on.
Have some faith. Faith in what?
On game day, slam a beer, jump through a folding table, and call it.
I ain't gonna lie. I want to jump through a table with Bills fans, though. I'm being dead ass, bro. That shit seems so fun to do, bro. Just. Like, I want to do it. Just even if I hurt myself, break my elbow, arm on, I'll do it.
Brunch. And it doesn't.
And it got to be lit on fire, too.
Matter if it's 75 degrees or a literal blizzard. You're still shirtless in the parking lot like it's WrestleMania. For decades, you were just a punchline. 4 straight Super Bowl losses? That's not a.
That's nasty. That's nasty. I ain't gonna lie, this would have made me not be a fan. If the Chargers would have went to the bowl 4 straight times and lost 4 straight times, I would have realized that team ain't for me. It's not for me, bro.
Stat. That's a Greek tragedy. But somehow, that only made you louder, angrier, hungrier. Then, Josh Allen showed up.
Josh Allen did spawn out of nowhere for them.
Finally had hope. A rocket arm Wyoming alien who plays like he's in a backyard game with his cousins. You fell in love instantly. Yeah. And now, you believe. Even if it all ends in heartbreak. Again, you'll still be out there next Sunday yelling, "Let's go Buffalo," while your friend body slams a snowman. Dolphins, flashy.
Bro, they so flashy and they still suck, man. That shit is crazy. They do all this trickery, all these trick plays, all this speed, all this other shit, and they still suck. That must suck. That must suck. Can't be me though. Couldn't be my team. We just suck. That's it.
Miami has 2 fan bases. One lives in the group chat, sending Dan Marino highlights like he didn't retire in 1999. The other wears pastel colors, uses Tua's QBR in arguments.
Oh God, they be doing this shit. Yo. I just got upset again. Cause they be saying Tua's better than Hurts, Love, and Herbert. How? I have no clue. Bro. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. They put Tua as a top 5 quarterback. Go up for it on 4th down year 1. I don't like that trickery.
And only became a fan because Tyreek Hill made fantasy football fun again. You have a team that plays in 90-degree heat with with 110% humidity. Half the stadium is empty by the fourth quarter unless you're winning. And even then, people leave to beat traffic and hit the beach.
Yep.
You're flashy. You've got speed. You've got style. But when it comes to meaningful games, your confidence turns into, well, we weren't really trying this year anyway.
Bro, this nigga is speaking facts 2 for 2. It's really, so tier 1 is Lamar, Burrow, Mahomes, Allen. That's tier 1. Tier 2, in my opinion, is Herbert, Hurts. I might be forgetting somebody, but it's Herbert and Hurts. I might be forgetting somebody. Tier 2A, like tier 2A is them two. Tier 2B is like Jordan Love, JD5, CJ Stroud, guys like that. Now 3 is when you get into like the Tuas and the Jared Goffs and the Staffords and respectfully though, respectfully. That's just, and then once again, that's my opinion. Everybody has their own opinion. The Kylers, the Daks, players like that. The Bryce Youngs, the Baker Mayfields. That tier 3 is stacked. Bo Nix. So.
Jets, cursed.
Yeah.
Jets fans are born with 2 traits: blind optimism and deep trauma. Every
Derek Carr ain't even the best quarterback on his team.
Season, you convince yourself this is the year. And every regular season, it becomes clear it's not. You treat your draft picks like they're messiahs. Sam Darnold, Zach Wilson, Tim Boyle. At this point, your fan base should come with a warning label. When Aaron Rodgers got hurt 4 snaps into the season, it wasn't just a football injury. It was a cosmic joke. Jets fandom isn't about winning. It's about surviving. Patriots, entitled. Let's be real.
Yeah.
You were the most spoiled fan base in football for 2 straight decades. 6 rings. Brady and Belichick. You went from lovable underdog to final boss, and now you're waking up in a world without a cheat code. Suddenly, a 7-10 season feels like rock bottom, but you still walk with a quiet arrogance. You remember what it was like. You still wear the Super Bowl hoodie from 2004 like it's fresh merch. And even if the dynasty's over, you act like the rest of the league owes you something. We were great once, is your mantra. But deep down, you miss him. You miss him. And watching Tom Brady win in Tampa hurt more than any loss. By the way, I'm going to be posting a lot here, so it would mean a lot if you subscribed and dropped a like for the algorithm. Ravens, defensive. Ravens fans have...
Hey, there's one thing. And Ravens fans is hella defensive, bro. Think of every Ravens fan you know. Every Raven fan that I know is hella defensive. They never argue with reason. Ever. Ever. They never argue with reason. They always just go straight defense. Every time.
Have a chip on their shoulder the size of the DMV. You're convinced the national media hates you. The refs...
That too. Apparently... they're just enemy number 1. Like, what?
Are against you, and nobody gives Lamar the credit he deserves. You win 11 games a year and still act like you're the underdog in every matchup.
That's very true, too.
QB is a former MVP, but anytime someone questions his playoff record, it's instant DEFCON 1 in your mentions. You still brag about Ray Lewis like he's your uncle. You treat defense like religion. And when Justin Tucker walks on the field, you don't hope he makes the kick. You assume it's going in.
Not anymore.
Bengals, cocky. Bengals fans are still adjusting to what success feels like. For most of your life, you were the team with the cool helmets and absolutely nothing else.
Yeah.
Carson Palmer, fun era. Andy Dalton, solid. But deep down you knew this franchise was allergic to winning. Then came Joe Burrow, cool, calm, cocky. The moment he walked into the building with those sunglasses and said, "Why not us?" You believed him. Now you treat him like he's Joe Montana in a Gucci ad. You're a small...
It's every NFL fan base explained in 24 minutes.
Small market fan base with big league swagger. But every time someone reminds you that you still don't have a Super Bowl ring, it stings. Still, this is the golden age. Enjoy it. Just don't get too comfortable. Browns traumatized. Being a Browns fan is less...
You niggas are ready for World War III. I ain't gonna lie to you. If we draft him for World War III, send that nigga, send Aaron the plumber first. Send that nigga that made Saratoga water popular, him, then the 4 a.m. nigga, send them niggas first. And then up next, send that big dancing gorilla nigga. Send that girl that be making mayo with shit. And for fifth, send every Browns fan that's been loyal for the past 20 years. They don't care about themselves. They don't care about themselves, man. And it shows. They don't love it. Like, if you loved yourself, I don't give a fuck if I'm from Cleveland. I'm switching teams. I'm sorry. Bruh. I'm going to some other team. I'm being some other fan of some other team. No. I'm not about to sit here and rock with these. No, fuck all that.
Less of a hobby and more of a trauma response. You've survived 0 to 16. You've seen quarterbacks come and go like seasons. You still remember where you were during the drive, the fumble, and the decision.
Damn.
And none of those were even recent. But here's the thing. You never quit. You showed up every week, even when the team didn't. You cheered for Colt McCoy like he was the future.
Yo, that's bad.
You memorized draft picks like scripture. Then one day, you made the playoffs, won a game, against the Steelers at their place. For a few weeks, the pain turned into pride. But in classic Browns fashion, that hope got snatched back faster than a rookie's playbook. You laugh through the pain, but still believes in a spark. And that, honestly, makes you one of the realest fan bases in the NFL.
Wasn't that the season y'all lost to the Texans?
Steelers, relentless. You treat being a Steelers fan like it's a bloodline. Your dad was a fan. Your grandfather was a fan. Your dog is probably named Franco. The terrible towel is more sacred than a wedding ring. And even when your team is average, like 9 to 8, barely playoff worthy, you talk like you've still got the 70s steel curtain defense walking through that tunnel. You don't rebuild, you reload, even if you're clearly running on duct tape and vibes. In your mind.
Damn! Nigga said duct tape and vibes.
Every game is a chance to prove the Steeler way is still alive. And every loss? Just a minor inconvenience on the path back to the top.
Yeah.
Colts, nostalgic. Colts fans are like the quiet kid in class who used to be a straight A student, and now just sort of coasts and hopes no one notices. You had Peyton Manning, then Andrew Luck. 2 generational quarterbacks back to back, and somehow ended up in quarterback limbo. You still talk about 2006 like it happened yesterday. Remember Super Bowl 41? Yes, we do. But since then, it's been a roller coaster. A very polite, Midwestern roller coaster.
Damn.
You just want good football, a stable quarterback, and maybe a few months where the team isn't in the injury report more than the standings.
Damn.
You're optimistic, but careful, like someone who's been ghosted too many times.
Damn.
You still miss Luck. You probably always will. Texans, hopeful. Let's be honest, your fan base is still in its infancy. You're the new kid on the block, born in 2002, raised on moderate success, and then immediately thrown into chaos. You went from watching Andre Johnson throw hands with Cortland Finnegan to watching your entire franchise implode thanks to a series of questionable decisions and one incredibly toxic QB situation. But suddenly, things feel different. CJ Stroud arrived like a storm, calm, composed, and undeniably elite.
Yeah.
Now, you're acting like proud parents
Let's
watching
go,
your kid win the science fair. You're not obnoxious yet, but you are ready to be. The stadium's getting louder. The jerseys are coming out of storage. You're not just hoping for playoffs. You're thinking about banners. Jaguars, chaotic.
Very.
Jags fans are a special breed. You've survived tarp-covered seats, national irrelevance, and a team that once seemed more committed to playing games in London than in Jacksonville. But you stuck it out. Through Blaine Gabbert, through Blake Bortles, through Urban Meyer, which should legally qualify as fan base hazing. And now, Trevor. He's the prince that was promised. He brought hair, hope, and a playoff comeback for the ages. Suddenly, Duval is screaming louder. The teal is back in fashion, and the stadium feels like it actually wants to be there. You chant, Duval, like it's gospel. You know nobody believes in you, and that makes it sweeter when you win. Titans, gritty. Titans fans have this blue-collar energy.
Trevor Lawrence is not the greatest QB app. No. In college, no. No. Fuck no. No. I'm taking a few college quarterbacks before I take him. Are you saying in college? No. You know who threw a pretty ball? Fucking Tua. Tua threw a nice fucking football. I'm also probably Colt McCoy at Texas was too. He's not that special. I mean, yeah. What's wrong with him? What do you mean?
Energy that screams, I drive a truck, I drink sweet tea, and I still haven't forgiven Jeff Fisher. You love smash mouth football, Derrick Henry, and playing games that end 16-13 for some reason. Your identity is toughness. You'll draft a wide receiver once every 5 years just to prove you're still allergic to explosive passing plays. You've been close, so close. That 2019 run, magical. But since then, it's been a weird mix of injuries, QB swaps, and Mike Vrabel trying to win games with a roster that looks like it was auto-drafted. Still, you ride for your team. Nashville might be tourist country.
What do you mean by like Tebow? I don't think Shador starts until like year 2. Realistically, unless injuries take a part, but I think Shador should start, but they've already paid Flacco, so I mean, I don't know. But I think also Dylan, like, I don't know, man.
But when it's Sunday, it's Titans time. You're tough, loyal, and extremely skeptical of fun. And honestly, that's kind of respectable. Chiefs, dominant. Chiefs fans went...
Fucking hate these dudes. Oh.
From loyal Midwest diehards to borderline unbearable dynasty energy in record time. For years.
Why wouldn't it, Wunsch? I mean, I get it was drafted over him, but it's no way that... I'm sorry.
You watched other teams lift trophies while you held on to Priest Holmes highlights and dreamed of playoff wins that didn't involve heartbreak. Then Mahomes happened, and now it's different. You walk with swagger, you expect greatness, you show up to games in blizzards, chanting like Arrowhead is a coliseum. You treat Travis Kelce like a demigod and Andy Reid like your collective football father. But you're also becoming the new Patriots, and you can feel it. People love to hate you now because Mahomes is still here, and every time someone doubts you, he casually drops 400 yards and reminds everyone whose league this is.
And it's almost like, not saying y'all in general, but y'all, it's just people was just like, bro, Mahomes is still ain't the best quarterback in the league. And I'm just like, how? How? What has he done for him not to still be the best quarterback? I'm sorry, like until the nigga has a terrible year, and just don't and goes and be ass, then he won't be the best. The nigga's still the best quarterback. I don't give a fuck about the stats. No, nigga. If your team could trade for one quarterback, most of our teams are trading for fucking Mahomes. That's correct. No, it's just the fucking, it's called ring, nigga. It's the ring. I get notifications when I get on, whenever people drop shit off, it's ring, nigga. It's literally just a doorbell. You never had a ring?
Raiders, reckless.
No, these niggas are ghetto. Yeah, I said it.
Raiders are football's rock band. No matter how bad the record, the merch still sells.
Oh God, it do.
Tattoos still get inked, and the crowd still shows up like it's a spiritual event. You pretended to believe in Jimmy G. You pray that Aiden O'Connell turns into Kurt Warner with better hair. You live for drama. From John Gruden emails to front office feuds, every season starts with hope and ends with fire everybody. But that's the beauty of Raiders fans. You're in it, no matter what. You've got attitude, You've got passion. Chargers, forgotten. You are the NFL.
What you mean forgotten? We ain't forgotten.
Forgotten middle child.
Niggas do forget about it. Niggas forget though. You know what it is? The infamous Chargers cycle. Pick us as a dark horse to beat the Chiefs in the beginning of the season. Realize we're not gonna beat the Chiefs. Pick us as a dark horse wild card team. Realize we're not gonna do that, and then start over. That's the cycle.
Child. Even your home crowd is mostly filled with the other team's fans. You had one of the best young quarterbacks in football and somehow still found new ways to lose games no one else could possibly lose.
That was Brandon Staley.
Being a Chargers fan means pain in 4K. It means watching your team blow a 27-0 playoff lead and then listening to analysts say there's still a team to watch next year.
I told you.
You've got talent. You've got uniforms that slap. You've got
okay, so this
there's still
talent
a team to
that
watch
they so-called
next year.
say we have.
You've got talent. You've got you.
Like looking at these players, bro. None of these players is like, all right, none of them. Like the only ones that could go start on other teams is Keenan and Derwin. Literally. And we seen that. Literally. Keenan and Derwin. That's it. So these 6 being our stars. Crazy.
Uniforms that slap.
When was the Chargers last relevant? Last year. When was the last time the Giants were relevant?
You've got SoFi Stadium.
When was the last time the Giants made the playoffs? Then they beat the Vikings. I'm pretty sure. Oh, never mind. Yeah, no, they beat the Vikings in 2022. Good job. Our last win was, I think, 2019. Good job. But the NFC, y'all went 9-7-1. The NFC is significantly easier. I will say that. And that's very obvious. It's very obvious. The NFC is easier than the AFC by far.
Which
and
you
y'all in the NFC East.
Technically share like it's a timeshare rental, but you don't have identity. Are you
What
LA's
do you mean,
team?
Cap? How is that cap? It's literally proven all the time. Shut up. What's the word? Like, okay. Look at, for one, the AFC has the way better quarterbacks. Can we start there? Can we start there? Can we start there? Who has better quarterbacks? Now, that's what I'm saying. Our division is also just terrible, like, for us. But, like, let's just be honest, bro. Like, our quarterbacks, AFC's better. AFC's defenses, for the most part, better. I guess the only good Eagles, Lions, Vikings. I wouldn't say Niners right now, but I'll say those 3. Now, when it comes to like AFC defenses, you got Texans. I'll put the Chiefs on the same level as that Niners defense, so that negates that. The Chargers defense was top 5, top 4 last year when it came to points per game and like shit like that. So you can probably put us in that same category as the Niners. Nothing like super crazy elite. The Steelers always have an elite defense somehow. Same thing with the Browns, Ravens, Bills. Like it's just the AFC is better. It just is. So it's gonna be tougher for us to win games. We play like what? Whereas the NFC, y'all get to play the fucking like. If let's say if the Chargers, I wonder what the Chargers' record was against NFC last year. This could negate my whole shit I'm talking about. Last year, beat the Panthers, Cardinals, so 1-1, 2-1, 3-1, 3-2, so 3-2. All right, let's see, 3-2, 1-0, 1-1, 2-1, 2-2, 2-3. Oh, this is when we didn't play anybody. I'm not counting any of these. I'm not counting those. I'm not on anybody. Herbert didn't play. Herbert didn't play that year. This is the year Herbert played, I believe. Like all we play is AFC teams. 1-0, 1-1, 2-1, 3-1. Like I think we only play 4 NFC teams a year. But it's just the AFC is tougher, and it's okay.
Are you San Diego's ex? Nobody knows, but you hang in there. And somehow, still hoping that one of these years, your team will finally stop being a meme and start being a monster. Broncos, delusional.
Them niggas so delusional, bro. So delusional.
Broncos fans are proud, maybe too proud. You act like it's still 2015 and the defense is running the league. You still speak of Peyton Manning like he's a living monument.
Yes.
But lately, it's been rough. You traded...
The Chargers will be way better than the NFC. What? The Chargers in any other division but the AFC would be way better. If you put the Chargers in the AFC in the NFC East, what? Obviously, it's the NFC East for a reason, but NFC West. I mean, who in the NFC West is like No team in the NFC West scares me anymore. Niners, not really. Like, granted, our division ain't amazing, but our division had 3 playoff teams. So our division's actually pretty fucking good. It's right up there with the NFC North. The NFC North had a bunch of wins in it, but they beat up on a lot of NFC East teams, or not NFC East, NFC teams. Like, let me see, bro. Who were the bottom 5 teams this past season? Who was the bottom 5? Giants, Titans, Browns, Raiders. So 4 AFC. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I guess a bunch of NFC teams are just mid. The Cardinals having 8 wins. Who do they beat? Who did the Cardinals beat? Case closed. I mean, the worst team was the Giants. So, I mean, yeah. That don't change the fact. Okay, who are the top teams? You got 1. Well, this division also did really good this year. This division did really good. Well, I guess no matter what, it's gonna be 7-7, no matter what, because of the playoffs. So it don't really matter. 5 times don't. What do you mean? 15 is 15-2, 14-3, 14-3, 13-4. Like, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I say it's 4-4, 5-4, 6-4, 7-4. Oh, all these teams got 10-7. They're all 10-7, so that don't really count.
Traded half your future.
And we got Cam Scatterbo. Cam Scatterbo is a fucking fullback. How do I tell you? Yo, I seen a clip today of Cam Scatterbo, and he looked just like Juice Check. Let me see if I can find it. It was him like working out and shit. No, I don't know where it's at. How do you spell this nigga's name? Scatterbo? Is that how you spell it? Oh, it's with an E. It was him doing some like drill, but I can't find it. It was him doing a drill with the Giants, but he's a fullback. He's a certified fullback. Or a third down back, one of the two. But don't expect nothing crazy from him, please don't. He gonna get in and be just like I would say I wouldn't say Peyton Hills because that's pretty disrespectful, but it's just
for Russell Wilson and ended up with a Netflix comedy special. You fired coaches like it's a rotating internship. You watched your team lose to the Dolphins by 50 points and still showed up the next week like nothing happened. You are loyal to the core through whatever Sean Payton is cooking. You wear orange like it's armor and talk about mile-high magic even when you're 5-12. And here's the thing. You still scare people because no matter how down the Broncos are,
I mean, also, it's just like how the East is and the West is in the NBA. I don't think, and I might be wrong, I don't think a losing record team has ever made the playoffs in the AFC. Let me see. Has a losing record team ever made The NFL playoffs. Let's see. Yes. There have been 5 instances. The Panthers, the Commanders, the Bucks, the Panthers, and the Seahawks.
Fanbase, that stadium.
Browns, 1992. It said that was a shortened season, so that don't count. I didn't count either one from that one. It said Browns and Lions. I'm not counting that one. It said they had a 4-5 record. That does not. It's not a full season. That's not a legitimate season.
That energy, it's one good QB away from being a problem again. And deep down, you know it.
Those are outliers. What do you mean?
Cowboys, loud. You call yourself America's team, but...
Generally... Look at the fit. Generally... I don't have a fucking nipple ring. Generally, though, the NFC is worse than the AFC. I think we know that. I think we know that. Can we not just agree? Like, is that not obvious? AFC's always had the better quarterbacks and the better teams. No. How? They've always had the better quarterbacks, for sure. For sure. Brady, Manning. I mean, you got Breeze and Rodgers. So that kind of, it was like, it was cool. But then you got Rivers, Big Ben. You know? Okay, when was it the NFC had better quarterbacks than AFC?
Half the country only tunes in to root against you. Being a Cowboys fan means living in a constant state of 1990s nostalgia and 2020's delusion. You have 5 rings, but you also have 5 decades of saying this is our year and getting bounced in the wild card round. Yeah. You treat every win like a Super Bowl and every loss like a national crisis. Yeah. You're always loud, online, in person, in the comment section of every sports post. You talk about Dak like he's either the second coming of Troy Aikman or the reason the team will...
Montana, Young, Aikman, Stafford. They didn't all play at the same time. No, I mean, you're naming good quarterbacks, but I'm saying, when was it that the NFC was more of a powerhouse than the AFC? That's what I want. If anybody can give me like a time frame or a year frame or something, you know.
Will never win again, depending on what time of day it is. Nothing wrong with it. But here's the truth. You're passionate, committed, loyal to a...
It's just... As a fan of an AFC team, y'all will never understand having to deal with fucking Brady and Manning, and now going from that to Mahomes, Allen, Lamar, and fucking Burrow. Like y'all's toughest fucking quarterback right now is probably JD5. Unless Jalen Hurts. But Jalen Hurts ain't even the biggest stud on the team. It's fucking Saquon. Like, y'all ain't never had to deal with this shit, man. This shit sucks. And then back then you had Big Ben as well. You got Phillip Rivers. Like, bro, it's always been a rotational door. Not a rotational door, but like, y'all have had good quarterbacks. But I'm like, Jordan Love. I'm not scared of Jordan Love. I'm sorry. Jordan Love don't scare me. Like, if I see we go against the Packers, I'm like, we got a chance to win. We could possibly win. You lost. We literally were a Quentin Johnson drop away from winning the fucking game. What are you talking about? The nigga, y'all scored 17 points against us. Like, bro. The score was 20-23. Like, I'm not scared of that shit. We were a Quentin Johnson drop away from winning that game. Shut the fuck up. Like, nobody's scared. Like, I'm not scared of Jordan Love. And you can't score. I don't think Keenan dropped a touchdown. Keenan dropped 2 touchdowns that game, actually. He dropped 2 touchdowns that game. And you know it. And you literally know it. You literally know he dropped 2 touchdowns that game. So let's not start there. That's 14 points compared to 6. Come on now.
Fault.
Come on now.
You might be dramatic, but you care. And whether the Cowboys go 13-4.
But like, let's be real. When it comes to teams, shout out to the Cavs for fucking getting back on the board. Like, I'm not scared of no team in the NFC East other than the Eagles and the Coms. In this division, it's just the Lions. In this division, it's nobody. In this division, it's nobody. That's literally how it's broken down. It's maybe 4 teams. Maybe 4. Max 4. Who am I scared of? Like, when you go to the AFC, it's like Bills. Yeah. Ravens, yeah. Bengals, yeah. Even Steelers at home, yeah. Texans, nah. Chiefs, yeah. Like, you ain't scoring more. I can guarantee let's look at the last time the Chargers played the Giants. Chargers, Giants, history. I want to say Melvin Gordon scored a game-winning touchdown against y'all. Y'all lost to us 21-37. Y'all lost to us 27-22. Y'all lost to us 14-37. Look, we dropping 30 burgers on y'all consistently. Fuck out of here. The last time we played, I want to say this is Melvin Gordon when he scored. Oh, no, this is Austin Eckler. Oh, you know what this game was? This was, oh, yeah. This was this throw. And you said the defense was good? You talking about this throw?
You saw it come to fruition right there on that play.
This one?
Herbert stops, launches deep. Jalen Guyton, he's got it! Touchdown Chargers!
Well, will you?
Fucking 15 for 21, 144. We're now 202 tuds. Fuck out of here. Weak ass team.
Or 4-13. You'll still
What
be
did we do
wearing that
year?
navy
The same thing y'all did that year.
blue jersey,
Sit on the couch.
yelling at the TV, and reminding everyone, we them boys. Eagles, unhinged.
Yeah, you niggas are very unhinged now. Very.
Eagles fans are the only group who can boo Santa Claus and still get a standing ovation from their own city.
Yes.
You're rowdy, aggressive, and deeply emotional. You treat football like religion, and game day like war. You used to live in heartbreak. Then 2017 happened. Foles went full folklore, and you got your ring. But instead of chilling out, it made you even more feral. Now, you bark at strangers. You flip cars after wins. You fight your own team's fans when they don't scream loud enough. You are the only fan base that would turn a tailgate into a demolition derby and call it tradition. You don't care if people hate you. In fact, you prefer it that way. Giants. Bipolar.
And you know what's crazy? I bet I could find some ones posts or chats about Daniel Jones.
Giants fans
I forgot Twitter's unhinged too.
have 2 speeds. Quietly confident or loudly suffering. There is no in between. When things are going well, you're reserved, classic, classy even. When things go south, you want the coach, the GM, and probably the parking attendants fired. You had Eli Manning, the most awkward elite quarterback in history, take down Tom Brady twice. That gave you
He's not elite though.
in defensive lines and fourth quarter magic.
But back to what I was saying, I think Jackson Dart is going to be Daniel Jones 2.0.
Rough. You drafted Daniel Jones and spent the next 5 years trying to convince yourselves it wasn't a mistake. Still, you ride. You know the joy of beating the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. You'll criticize your team all week and still show up Sunday like it's the Super Bowl. Commanders, resilient.
Yeah.
You've had more name changes than playoff wins in the past 20 years. Your fan base is
I'm telling you who I don't want to see in the clutch. I don't want to see Rodgers. No.
resilient because you had to be. You survived the
60% is too high for my liking. I need quarterbacks that got 22%. 60% is still great. I don't think you realize that. 60% is still very high. Like, I want to say Brady probably is at like 70. So 60% is still very high.
Dan Snyder era. That alone qualifies you for a Purple Heart. You went from being one of the most storied franchises in the league to a national punchline. And yet, you never left. You're like someone who just got out of a toxic relationship, scared to trust again, but cautiously optimistic. You still hold out hope that this quarterback might be the one. And even if the team lets you down again, you'll still be in the stands, screaming like it's 1991 again. Packers, traditional.
Weak-ass stadium. Weak-ass stadium.
Packers fans are the NFL's version of a small-town cult, and I mean that lovingly. You own your team, literally. You wear cheese on your head like it's formal attire.
Stadium.
You'll shovel snow for Lambeau if they ask, and then thank them for the opportunity. 30 years of elite quarterback play, and somehow only 2 rings. But you don't
weak-ass niggas. Couldn't be, well.
Complain out loud. You're just quietly waiting for Jordan Love to become the 3rd act in the trilogy. You respect tradition. You love frozen tundra football. You romanticize running the ball in -10 degrees like it's the
Y'all beat quarterbacks like Matt Hasselbeck. Man, we had to deal with fucking Peyton Manning. What are you talking about, bro? Y'all dealt with Jeff Garcia and we had to deal with fucking Brady. It's not even fair. Ain't no toughen up. Fuck out of here, man. That shit ain't fair, man. Okay, but it's different. It's different. You seen when Brady got to the NFC? That nigga cakewalked through all them quarterbacks. Because he's the GOAT.
Natural order of life. You're polite until someone disrespects the Packers.
Literally.
Then you're bringing up stats from the 60s and reminding them Vince Lombardi built this house. You're slightly smug and you've absolutely earned it. Vikings, dramatic. Being a Vikings fan is like riding a roller coaster with no seatbelt.
You know what's crazy, bro? I've never just like out and about at like a sports bar or wherever else ran into a fucking Vikings fan. Like now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever run into a Vikings fan. I don't like. Okay, well, I'm saying where I live, which is Vegas, Texas, and Georgia and Tennessee. I've never ran into a Vikings fan. Like if somebody was like, "Oh, name a Vikings fan right now," I would think of Throne. So I guess Throne, but like ran into them without knowing them? Never. I never.
You go in expecting disappointment, but somehow still leave surprised when it crashes. You've seen
that makes sense though. It's up north. That makes sense. I think anything past that Tennessee up and above it makes a little bit more sense. But
seen everything. Missed kicks, miracle wins, playoff implosions, and Kirk Cousins doing the gritty. You are eternally hopeful, and it's borderline inspirational. Every year you convince yourselves, this team is different, and every year it isn't. But you keep going. You rock the purple. You chant skull like it's ancient Norse war cry. You've got one of the best stadiums in the league, one of the loudest crowds, and fan section outfits that look like a Viking cosplay convention. You make football fun, even when your team makes it painful. You don't have a ring yet, but the second you do, you will not shut up for decades, and honestly, you've earned that right. Bears, loyal.
All I'm gonna say is don't let the Chargers ever win the Super Bowl. It's up. I'm telling you right now. You niggas is gonna hate me for about 4 years. We win a bowl, it's over. I'm gonna tell my kids about that. I might have kids at that point because I got something to be proud of too. If the Chargers win a bowl, that's gonna be my promise to y'all. When the Chargers win a bowl, I'll have a kid. How about that?
You are one of the most iconic.
Watch these niggas all of a sudden just get good and get lucky and win a fucking Super Bowl because all these players get hurt or some weird shit like that.
Fan bases in football history, and also one of the most tortured. You had 1985, one of the greatest defenses ever, the Super Bowl shuffle.
So you're not
and since then, nothing but hope and heartbreak. You treat running backs like royalty and quarterbacks like suspects. You've cycled through more QBs than most teams have jerseys. Every new one is finally the guy until he's not. You believe in defense, in freezing weather, in Soldier Field. You grill bratwurst at 9 a.m., wear Ditka sweaters in blizzards, and still bring up the Packers rivalry in every conversation. You're living proof that misery loves company.
What is the Packers-Bears record all time?
And sometimes a good tailgate is enough. Lions, redeemed. For years, being a Lions fan meant knowing two things: Thanksgiving losses and pain. You were the background noise of the NFL, lovable,
Really? The way Packers fans talk about it, you would think they was up by like 100. So they not really man. So what the fuck was Clay Matthews talking about?
Forgettable and perpetually rebuilding. You watched Barry Sanders retire early. You watched Megatron do the same.
Recent years. Okay, I guess. I mean, y'all act like y'all just dominating them forever, so. Okay.
But now, it's different. Dan Campbell arrived and turned your team into a blue-collar war machine. Suddenly, the Lions aren't a joke. They're a threat. You didn't bandwagon. You earned this. You still tail.
No, it's not, Ty. It's Steelers and in my opinion, the Steelers and Ravens still really, really good. That's just because that's all you know. But one of the best rivalries ever. Oh yeah, no, never mind. It's Cowboys Eagles. Yeah, Cowboys Eagles. No, Cowboys Eagles. It's not even close. It's Cowboys Eagles.
Tailgate in below zero wind chill. You still chant one pride like it's a prophecy. And now, for the first time in forever, people fear Detroit. Saints, rowdy.
Rowdy. Another word for ghetto.
Saints fans are a mix of deep Catholic guilt and Bourbon Street party energy. You wear gold like...
I mean, I guess, Don, I guess.
It's sacred. You wear beads year-round. You treat the Superdome like a religious site. And when you scream, "Who dat?" it's not a question. It's a threat. You endured the darkest days of football. The paper bag era, the Aints. Then, Drew Brees arrived and everything changed. For a decade, you were contenders. Now, it's murky. Post-Brees life has been a roller coaster of mid-tier quarterbacks and cap space nightmares. But you still show up. You still believe. You still treat every home game like Mardi Gras with a scoreboard. And every time someone says, well, the Saints aren't that good this year, you remind them, the Dome is never an easy place to play.
Yeah.
Falcons, haunted. Being a Falcons fan is like constantly watching a horror movie where you know how it ends. You live with the ghost of 28-3. It follows you on memes, on Twitter, in casual conversations about teams that choke. But you keep going because that's what Falcons fans do. You find hope in flashes. A couple touchdowns from a rookie quarterback. A 200-yard game from Bijan. A stretch of 4 games where...
Who? Bijan? Nah, Bats. Who the fuck is Bijan? Nigga mean Bijan?
You almost look like contenders. You want to believe. You need to believe.
Nigga
but deep down,
Bijan.
You're always waiting for the moment it falls apart.
Who the fuck is
You've tried
that?
everything. New coaches, new uniforms, new slogans. Nothing sticks. But you're loyal. The Dome still gets loud. And when things go bad, you say the same thing every year. At least we're not the Saints. Panthers, forgettable. You're the youngest fan base in the division. And it shows. You don't have the deep-rooted trauma.
Oh, of course, RC. Yeah, that's how that works. That's everything, though. Like, we were talking about this yesterday. If Blake Griffin would have played back when highlights was like, you know, you could only find a certain amount of highlights and you put his best ones, that nigga like the fucking Terminator. Like, Blake Griffin, Jamal Crawford, fucking, excuse me, any player that was just really, really, even DeAndre Jordan. Who else? If you show motherfuckers Derrick Rose, they would say he's like the 3rd best point guard of all time. Like, but we all know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, if you show somebody that was in a coma for 25 years, one Derrick Rose video, you'd be like, damn. And then you explain the entire thing, you'd be like, damn.
Like the rest of the NFC South. But you do have a weird history of wild highs and brutal lows. You had Cam Newton, the most electric player in the league, and watched him Superman your team to a 15-1 season.
And
you dabbled in dominance. You got a taste. But since then, It's been nothing but quarterback whiplash
Terrible.
and coaching musical chairs. You have a beautiful stadium, a clean uniform set, and some of the chillest fans in the NFL. But you also get forgotten. A lot. Even your own fans sometimes forget what city you technically represent. Still, you believe in the rebuild. You believe in Bryce Young, even if it hurts right now, hoping your moment actually comes. Buccaneers, conflicted. Before Tom Brady, your franchise was mostly known for creamsicle jerseys, pirate ships, and losing in creative ways. You were the neighborhood team no one feared, but everyone liked. You were quirky. Then, Brady showed up like a divorced dad in a sports car, and suddenly you had rings, relevance, and a fan base that grew overnight. You went from lovable mess to actual contenders. People started buying Bucs jerseys who had never seen a Raymond James Stadium tailgate in their lives.
Ain't no
You're not the
goddamn
NFC's
greatest.
punching bag anymore. You're the team people shouldn't sleep on, but still kind of do. 49ers, obsessed. 49ers fans are some of the most passionate, proud, and petty people in football.
And annoying. Like, everybody got that one Niners fans that's just annoying, bro. Like, it's not 1972 with Jerry Rice and shit like that. And then they will argue you up and down like Jerry Rice is the greatest receiver of all time. No, that nigga, you stick him. He's a sellout. He wore a Popeyes fucking helmet. And you niggas still root for this team. That would have been my last straw. I ain't gonna lie.
You have a rich history. Montana, Rice, Young. You talk about the catch like it happened last season.
And the catch was so mid. Oh my God. Have y'all seen this? Bro, this catch is so mid. Nigga, this might be the most average catch I've ever seen that gets fucking glorified. Like, nigga, this catch is so fucking basic. It's crazy.
From Pontiac.
3rd and 3. We'll see a pickup sometime on the right side, possibly.
Montana looking, throwing in the end zone.
We've seen Mahomes do this shit 4 times a game.
Finally throwing the ball away. Clark comes across from the other side, makes a leaping catch on.
Weak ass catch. That catch is weak as hell. I'm sorry.
You talk about the 2019 Super Bowl like it was stolen from you. And you talk about Brock Purdy like he's both the underdog and the chosen one. You have one of the most intense online fan bases. You'll argue that Purdy is elite, that Jimmy G was misunderstood, and that Trey Lance was never given a real shot. But here's the thing. You know ball. You love this team with your whole chest. You yell, "Bang Bang Niner Gang," like it's a legal name change. Every year you say, "This is our year." And honestly, it might be. You're always in the mix, always right there.
And a thing of like the Niners have either made the NFC Championship or missed the playoffs for the past like 5 years, I think.
Just one healthy QB away from glory, one play away from vengeance.
Yeah.
And when it finally happens, because it probably will, you're never letting the league hear the end of it. Seahawks, energized. You're the loudest stadium in the league, and you want
No, the fuck they aren't. The Chiefs are, man. Now, okay, I'm saying that and I've never been to Seattle, so maybe I'm wrong, but bro, my ears was ringing for an extra day when I left this game. The Chiefs-Chargers game, my ears was ringing.
everyone
That
to know
shit
it.
hurt.
Seahawks fans turned volume into identity. The 12th man is not just a nickname, it's a lifestyle. You came alive in the Legion of Boom era. Marshawn, Rusky, Pete. You went from afterthought to dynasty in the making. And then came the play. You don't talk about it. You can't talk about it. Post-Russ, you were supposed to fall apart, but you didn't. Geno Smith shocked the world. You kept fighting. You kept winning. You never stopped screaming.
Literally,
you think
Don.
every
Literally.
player you draft is a future Hall of Famer. And you still believe
that's a good draft
Lumenfield
pick.
is the most sacred soundtrap in the NFL. And the truth is, it just might be. Cardinals, neglected. You're the fan base everyone forgets until someone mentions underrated. Being a Cardinals fan is like being in a long-distance relationship with someone who keeps saying they'll change, and sometimes actually does, for a week. You've had legendary moments, Larry Fitzgerald's Super Bowl run, Kyler's Hail Mary, but they never last. You start hot, then collapse like a lawn chair in week 10. Your fan base is loyal, but quiet. You just want stability, a team that plays hard, a quarterback who doesn't delete team photos off Instagram every offseason. Is that too much to ask?
Or play Call of Duty.
Synthetic. You're the fan base that's still figuring itself out. You moved back to LA, won a Super Bowl, and now half the stadium still looks like a Chargers home game. Your biggest battle is convincing people you have actual fans in the city. But you're flashy. You love stars. You love big moments. You turned F them picks into a lifestyle and then actually cashed it in. You built a super team, won it all, and still somehow feel like a sleeper team most years.
This is not a fucking super team. Robert Woods, Johnny Hecker, Andrew towards the end of his career, Jordan Fuller. This is not a super team. This is a really, really good team. This ain't no fucking super team, though. Aaron Donald was already here. And so was Cooper Kupp. So they didn't go out. No. And so was Robert Woods. Weren't these two... Wasn't Whitworth already here, too? Didn't they go out and get just Stafford and Ramsey? That's it.
The super team, won it all, and still somehow feel like a sleeper team most years. You're not the loudest. You're not the most loyal yet.
Build a super team.
But you are growing. You've got one of the best stadiums in the world, a coach with movie star energy, and a fan base that's slowly becoming something real. You might not have decades of loyalty, but you have rings. And in LA, that's what counts. If you enjoyed this, I'm going to be posting a lot here, so it would mean a lot if you subscribed.
No, you talk shit about my Chargers, buddy.